I heard about an empty shopping mall in Okinawa, so I traveled from Osaka to Okinawa. Let me introduce a shopping mall called Navel Kadena. It was once a busy shopping mall, but now, as you see, it's nearly empty. No one comes here anymore, so it's like this now. It's become such a miserable situation that crying children cry even more. Okinawa is one of Japan's top tourist destinations, but why? How did it end up like this? This time, it's full of empty tenants and almost deserted. Let me introduce the commercial facility, Navel Kadena. So I've come to Kadena Town, Nakagami District, Okinawa Prefecture. It's a town located in the central part of Okinawa Prefecture. You can get here quickly by turning off one of Okinawa Prefecture's main roads, Route 58. There's a large, clear sign with the facility's name, yet it oddly feels like a vacant tenant, which excites me. I've arrived at the parking lot. It's a large commercial facility. The faded exterior walls make it feel run down and give it a commercial facility vibe. There are quite a few cars parked here. Here's where Nēburu Kadena is located. It's about 40 minutes from Naha. Speaking of Kadena Town, it's known for the United States Kadena Air Base, and apparently about 82% of the town's area is occupied by the United States military base. Taking advantage of its location filled with an American atmosphere, it seems that Navel Kadena itself is also designed with American shopping centers in mind. Because I went to American Village before this shoot, I couldn't really feel the American vibe here. Navel Kadena is a commercial facility that opened in December 1992. It was a subsidiary of Kokuba Corporation in Okinawa. Okinawa Construction Public closed. The site covers 40,000 square meters, slightly less than Tokyo Dome. It is categorized as a medium-sized commercial facility. The complex has three structures: the new building, one floor above ground, and the south and main buildings, each with 3 floors above ground. For now, let's head to the new building. The new building houses the home improvement store, Tabata. Currently, Tabata also manages the present Navel Kadena. The worn-out signboard feels unsettling, but inside it's just a normal home improvement store. About 80% of customers come for the home improvement store, so there were many people like that. I'll introduce the other areas from now on, but unless you have plenty of time or a clear purpose, people without those things usually just pass by and only stop at the home improvement store. If you're a short sleeper and only need 30 minutes of sleep, you have plenty of time, so why not try it? These stairs lead to the rooftop parking. Let's go up. There's also a floor map. It hasn't been updated in over 10 years, so it's not helpful. There are many shops here, but don't be fooled. You'll be surprised. A safe life starts with Nēburu. I'll say this first, but if you want to start a safe and secure life, the only tenant left now is the home improvement store. You can see the south building from the rooftop parking lot. The Nēburu Kadena sign looks cool, right? The sign on the upper left is completely white, so you can tell that a tenant has moved out. There's a sign for the game center, but it's totally dark, definitely closed. All right, let's take a look at the south building. The first floor has a home center's gardening section and a pet section. There used to be a GEO and a bookstore here, but both have closed. When you go inside, it looks like this. It's actually the weekend today, though. On the right side, there was a pizza place called Shakey's. When I looked inside from the outside, it seemed like it could open for business tomorrow. Everything was left just as it was. Past the Escalators, a home improvement store, but I'll skip that. Let's go up to the second floor. Here's the escalator. I was wrong. These are stairs, not an escalator. It's really realistic, isn't it? There aren't any people on the second floor either. The remains of the closed arcade we saw earlier from the rooftop parking lot were left just as they were. The other tenants were a dance studio and a nail salon. Pro's Arena was once on the third floor, but now the space is vacant. It's nearly empty inside. However, the posters were left as they were. The mirror ball sat on a lonely cart. But when would you ever use a mirror ball in a pro wrestling arena? I wonder when that would happen. That's about it for the introduction of the South Hall. Going down the escalator-like stairs, next we'll head to the main building. I heard the escalator broke years ago and hasn't been fixed since. Every place I've visited so far has been empty. In commercial facilities, at least the escalators were still working though. Outside on the first floor of the main building, there's Nēburu Kadena. It's been a tenant since the opening. There's also the Okizi market. Some people visit just for this place. They sell seafood and serve meals here. Be sure to visit while sightseeing. It's empty, but you can enjoy the commercial facilities. The main and south buildings are linked by a deck, allowing access between their second floors. Now let's take a look inside. As expected, no one is here. But don't worry, though there aren't people, everyone loves the open atrium. This early Heisei vibe is irresistible. Of all the commercial facility atriums I've seen, this is one of the best. The atrium occupies nearly half the floor area. Isn't this bold design just amazing? By the way, as expected, the escalators in the main building aren't running either. Are they really out of order? You can find United States military released furniture only in Okinawa, creating a unique and exciting vibe. There's an automated teller machine area behind the escalator, but most of the automated teller machine S have been removed. Only Okinawa Bank has survived. I want to highlight the currency exchange machine on the far left, which only exchanges dollars and yen. This one isn't used anymore, but it still gives you an Okinawa vibe. A foreign currency exchange machine that only exchanges dollars. This is the first time I've seen one. Let's go to the back left. This place has a nice liminal vibe. 3 Maru A machines once occupied the empty space on the left, but were moved nearby in 2024. If you're unfamiliar with it, try imagining Shimamura. Daiso is on the right, but it's not like the usual ones. It's a rare family Daiso, one of the last remaining. There are only a few of them left across Japan. This Daiso features a family as its characters, and there's even a panel introducing the family members. There were once slight differences in the products sold here compared to elsewhere, but now they're mostly the same. Now let's go up the stairs. The second floor has no shops. It's fully closed and entry is nearly impossible. The Studio Alice sign was still up. When it opened, many families visited the Toys R Us floor. Remembering that is nostalgic. You can take a quick peek inside, but it's now a storage area. I'm not sure if it's still the case, but Toys R Us and Studio Alice used to have a partnership and shared space in many stores. That's right. The second floor view of the atrium is nice too. There are so few people here that it's almost worrying. The third floor is a parking lot. The view from here is nice too. Escalator is broken, but the elevator works. So, I went down to the first floor, and to my surprise, it's a see-through elevator. This rare commercial facility combines two favorites of mine, an open atrium and a see-through elevator. The escalator lights gave off a cool bubble-era vibe. That's the current state of Nēburu Kadena. There's not even a supermarket. Salt damage may have caused the exterior walls to fade and stain. All the escalators have stopped, highlighting how tough recovery is. The building's interior is clean and attractive, but maintenance appears lacking. It may sound rude, but without the lights on, I'd almost believe someone who called this active commercial facility a ruin. It's hard to believe now, but it was once a very prosperous commercial facility. From here, I'll explain how Nēburu Kadena came to be what it is today and why it ended up in this situation. As I mentioned at the beginning, Nēburu Kadena was established in 19. It is a commercial facility built by Okinawa Kensetsu Kogyo, part of the Kokuba Group, which opened in 1992. When it opened, a home improvement store was inside. Only the south and main buildings existed. There was no new building. The main building's first floor had a mini supermarket by the Kokuba Group, the Okinawa Line Market, still there, and specialty shops. Toys R Us was on the second floor. This Toys R Us was apparently the first store in Okinawa. The south building featured a home improvement center run by Okinawa Kensetsu Kogyo, a game center on the second floor, and a third floor with space for about 400 people. A multi-purpose hall held about 400 people. The article states that a new building, mainly for restaurants, was built next door the following year. It is stated that there are plans to start developing a recreational space. It seems that there were plans to build a new annex from the time of the opening. Although it wasn't as large as a major commercial complex, its unique tenant lineup, which set it apart from typical commercial facilities, attracted many visitors. In 1997, the Kurobagumi Group sent a request. Daiei announced the opening of Kozu, a membership-based supermarket. A new building was constructed and Kozu was set to move in there. After that, it opened splendidly in 1999. The new building's color remains unchanged. Since there are no stores left, I think most people don't know about KOZ. It was essentially like today's Costco. The first store opened in Kobe in 1992, followed by several more in cities like Osaka and Kanagawa. Kurobagumi Group asked Daiei for cooperation. A new building was set to be built the year after opening, originally intended mainly for restaurants and entertainment. If you think about it, the concept was withdrawn from the very beginning. I wonder if there was an uneasy atmosphere at Nēburu Kadena, though it was likely not because of the facility itself. The Kuro-Uma Group's financial troubles likely had a major impact. Around 1993, they fell into financial difficulties, temporarily stopped provisional profit repayments to the bank, and in 1999, the founding family's directors resigned. It seems that these kinds of situations were happening. The sign for the Type 1 large-scale retail store was put up in 1991. However, the installer is Daiei's subsidiary, Sansogo Kaihatsu Kozulakadi. I'm not sure about the timeline. An article said Kurobagumi operated it initially, but since Daiei owned the building, is that correct? If anyone knows, I would appreciate it if you could tell me. During restructuring, the explanations changed to Shoppers Mall, Navel, and Kadena. Shoppa Mall is a commercial facility brand developed by the Daiei Group. Daiei also acquired management rights for the facility. I feel like this won't get across to a lot of people, but the atrium in the main building really gives off that classic Shoppa Mall vibe. I've also seen stairs attached to the end of the building like this at the old Shoppa Mall. Many came for the layout initially, but interest faded as the novelty wore off. Daiei's poor business led to its closure after only 3 years in 2002. Kozu stores all closed in 2002. Poizarasu apparently closed in 2003. After each tenant left, Navel Kadena slowly lost momentum. At this time, people began saying it was run down. After Kozu withdrew, they tried to revitalize the new building, by opening a supermarket, a home improvement store, and a sporting goods store. But the tough situation didn't improve. The number of tenants gradually decreased, and in 2011, Daiei gave up operating it. And then they expanded their home improvement stores, mainly in Okinawa. Tabata acquired the land and buildings and took over the management rights as they were. The facility name was changed at this time, removing Shoppers Mall and keeping only Navel Kadena. The original home center left due to competition in the same industry. Home Center Tabata opened on the site. From what I see on Street View, until the early 2010s, this shopping center had many cars and store signs. It didn't really give the impression of a worn-out shopping center like it does now. As expected with Daiei as the owner, the exterior walls were clean. Navel Kadena didn't have smooth sailing from the very beginning. Even so, there were successor tenants, but now they aren't coming in either. And as I showed in the video, there are a lot of vacant tenants. Speaking of commercial facilities in central Okinawa, there's AEON Mall, which opened in 2015, Okinawa Raikamu. It's the largest commercial facility in Okinawa Prefecture, serving the entire region. It's targeting not only local residents, but also people visiting as tourists. Located nearby, Navel Kadena has been overshadowed by Aeon Mall, which has taken all the attention. Also, it seems that after the current operating company took over, the rent has increased. Most of the tenants who left have relocated to nearby facilities, and they expressed difficulties with the rent. You can guess that the tenants kept leaving one after another. Average rent in Kadena Town for about 100 square meters ranges from 100,000 to mid 100,000 yen, but I'm curious about the rent at Navel Kadena. There was no information online, so I couldn't find out. In the first place, I don't even know if they're currently looking for tenants. By the way, I can't confirm it, but there's a story that the pro wrestling arena closed due to unpaid rent. The closure notice was on December 4, 2020, and it was closed at the end of December. I don't know for sure if they were behind on rent, but it's highly likely that something happened. However, I feel like they really had no choice but to raise the rent in order to cover the maintenance costs. It's not a big company like Daiei, and it's difficult to cover maintenance costs from other businesses, so there were some unavoidable circumstances. That's just my personal opinion. From the tenant's perspective, the rent is high, so they end up leaving. From the facility's view, they can't maintain it properly, so it ends up in its current state. I've said this before, but after 30 years open, the faded exterior and other aging signs are really noticeable. Casual? Including the open atrium, the atmosphere of the facility is really attractive. However, I think it will be hard to keep operating at this scale going forward. If it were a little smaller or much larger, it might work out. That's more likely, but overall, it's like this. The struggles of medium-sized commercial facilities stand out. You can't just shop quickly and leave like at a small commercial facility, and it's not like a large commercial facility either. You can't spend all day there, so it ends up feeling in between, making management hard. Back in the day, commercial facilities of this size used to be the trend. Also, the fact that the southern area in between has become the most run down is probably not good, since it breaks up the flow of people. I'm grateful that they took over the management from Daiei, but it seems like the financial situation is pretty tough. That was the impression I got from the commercial facility. Some commercial facilities have recovered from similar situations, so I hope they do their best. That's it for this video. I'll see you again in the next one.